computer malfunction this morning, but we're good.
It's back on?
Yeah, yeah, it's back on. Well, we pull our accounts, so all the salaries go to one pool, and, I don't know what happened this morning, but it pulled a bunch of accounts that we didn't mean to pull. Lisa's coming back to it tonight. She's wonderful. You couldn't operate without her. I'm good. How are you? We don't see each other enough.
I know, we're in the same building, but
How do I do it so I can talk to it better? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Should I put it here somewhere? Just put it on the top.
I'm doing
I can't see what I'm doing. But you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. He said I wasn't talking loud.
review them, and then it's good on both sides. Yeah, we can tell them the good thing.
I just put it in my pocket for now.
Because it also gives me,
Yeah.
yeah, and some ideas, like, you know, we've been having all of these fire journals and lock-in journals and all of that kind of stuff.
How are you? Good. I really enjoyed a couple of them. I mean, really, really did. Me. I think twice a week I'm going to come out here and week meeting teachers up here. It's like maybe I can do it.
good.
No, you can't. Yeah. I don't know who we're talking about. They can do the job, that's all that matters. What? What? Good. That's it. Second. You were almost late.
really helps me. Flattery is everything.
Well, how are you doing, girl?
I couldn't recognize this dude here.
Oh, man. My wife said if I'm going to be him.
Hey, Michelle.
That's kind of like the guy that was
Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day of life you've given us today and the blessings that came with it. And most of all, we thank you for that unconditional love you have for us. We ask you to be with us today and guide us in our decision making and be a benefit to our students, staff, and this organization, and to our taxpayers. And we ask this in Jesus Christ's name, amen.
7 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. Yes, yes.
I will do the minutes.
Okay. Mr. Rivera, would you read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, sir. The Board of Trustees of Southwest Texas Junior College met in regular session March 24, 2022 in the Methodist Student Center, Blue Bonnet Room. Board President Dr. Harry O. Watkins called the meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. Board members present were Dr. Harry O. Watkins, President, Dr. Antonio Rivera, Secretary, Victor Lopez, Tony T. Moreno, and Linda Shackelford. Board member absent was Maria Elena Lara. Also present was Dr. Hector Gonzalez, President of the college. The minutes of the February 17, 2022 regular board meeting were read and approved with corrections as presented by Dr. Antonio Rivera, Secretary. Board President Watkins welcomed the guests at the meeting, which included college personnel, Derek Sandoval, Dr. Mark Underwood, and Starsky, Whit Carpenter, Ismael Martinez, Steve Martinez, and Kirk Palermo. Audience patrons were none. Quarterly investment report presented by Ann Starsky. Commencement schedule update presented by Dr. Hector Gonzalez. President's report presented by Dr. Hector Gonzalez. Motion was made by Tony T. Moreno and seconded by Victor Lopez to approve the February 28, 2022 financial statement as presented by Ann Starsky. Motion carried unanimously and a copy is attached. Motion was made by Victor Lopez and seconded by Tony T. Moreno to approve the presentation of certification of unopposed candidates for the Southwest Texas Junior College Board of Trustees. Election scheduled for May 7, 2022. Motion carried unanimously and a copy of the certification of unopposed candidate is attached. A motion was made by Tony T. Moreno and seconded by Victor Lopez to cancel the Southwest Texas Junior College trustee election and declare Dr. Harry Watkins, place 6, and Antonio Rivera, place 7, as elected. Motion passed unanimously, and a copy of the order of cancellation is attached. A motion was made by Victor Lopez and seconded by Tony T. Moreno to accept the bid from REC Industries for the wet building HVAC upgrades. Motion carried unanimously. A copy is attached. Motion was made by Tony T. Moreno and seconded by Victor Lopez to approve the recommendation to establish the Mackenzie Scott Scholarship and allocate an additional $15,000 to the Lower Florida Scholarship. Motion carried unanimously and a copy is attached. Motion was made by Tony T. Moreno and seconded by Dr. Antonio Rivera and to appoint board members Victor Lopez to confer degrees on Friday, May 13, 2022, and Anita Shackelford to confer degrees on Saturday, May 14, 2022. Motion carried unanimously and a copy is attached. Motion was made by Tony T. Moreno and seconded by Anita Shackelford to approve the TASB Risk Management Fund interlocal participation agreement. Motion carried unanimously, and a copy is attached. Board President Watkins called the board into executive session at 7:37 p.m. to consider a employment of deans, non-teaching personnel, and faculty under the Texas Government Code 551.074. B, employees terminated, resigned, retired, and new hires and transfers under the Texas Government Code 551.074. At 8:13 p.m., the SWTJC Board reconvened in regular session. Motion was made by Victor Lopez and seconded by Anita Shackelford to approve the reemployment of deans, non-teaching personnel, and faculty. Motion carried unanimously, and the copy is attached. With no further business or action items to discuss, Anita Shackelford made the motion to adjourn. Tony T. Moreno seconded the motion, and the motion carried at 8:14 p.m.
Thank you. Welcome to the board meeting, and I would like to recognize our guests, Ismael Martinez, Wade Carpenter, Ann Tarski, Derek Sandoval, Randy Shell, Margot Mata, Gilbert Bermea, and Mark Underwood. Do we have any audience to patrons?
No, sir.
We have reports on the college financial condition report.
Labeled in your packet, number 5, Report A, is the new financial conditions report that is put out by the LBB. You'll notice that the bottom line is the condition report for 2021. As of 2021, we had no financial stress indicators. If you look back into the 2017, 18, 19, and 20, we were battling with some financial stress indicators, but we have pulled ourselves out of that. And in each of these ratios, we are exceeding the trend and exceeding what they require of us. So, I feel really good about this one.
Thank you. Do we have an investment policy report?
Yes, the investment is report number 5B in your packet. It is not changed at all from last year, but we are required to bring it to you every year so that you have the opportunity to look at it. The college is abiding by all of our investment policy regulations.
Ms. Tarski, I have a question. On our investments, we do CDs, and CDs, but they don't bring in very much. Is there any other avenues that we could pursue that might bring in more?
We are allowed to do government bonds that are AAA rated. The last email I read was probably this morning, and they're predicting that they're going to get up to 3%.
2%?
3,
3%?
yeah, fairly soon. So we might want to go over that and look at it. We've been talking with our bond guys, trying to figure out what the best way to go is.
So has that been an opportunity in the past to get at least like 1%? Or because our CDs are what, averaging like 0.5 or something?
The long-term ones that we have are averaging like 2.5. They're going to go up as the Fed makes changes in the next couple of months.
Okay.
The foundation has more in terms of flexibility with their investments than we do.
I think it's almost a crime that we get 0.5% and the bank's charging 8. That doesn't seem like that's very equitable.
No.
And they're using our money all year long, so. Next item on the menu is your report.
Sir.
So for the president's report, we have a maintenance update. We held a pre-bid conference with potential general contractors for the site work on the modular buildings. They're going back and working their bids. We should have them back in the time frame to present to the board at the May board meeting. Just a reminder, April 29th, that's a Friday in Eagle Pass, we'll have a groundbreaking for our Chittum Center Union Pacific diesel expansion project. Those of you that wish to join us, we can provide transportation to get you there. Again, that's 1:30 p.m. It's on a Friday there in Eagle Pass. And just an update on the WIT building, the HVAC upgrades scheduled to begin in late May. LaForge Hall, probably earlier in June. And then the Building C in Eagle Pass in August. As far as the bonds, we continue to work with our financial advisors on the restructuring, possible restructure. I attended a meeting last week where the community of Eagle Pass hosted the Texas State Chancellor and Vice Chancellors to sell them on the idea of, what Eagle Pass needs as far as higher ed. They've got some money that the state allocated to Sol Ross Rio Grande College for the construction of facilities. If they build it there in Eagle Pass, which I'm assuming they will, they're doing a survey. They hired a firm to investigate that and make a recommendation to them. They're leasing to us approximately, from us, 21,000 square feet, roughly about $250,000, $260,000 in rent a year that would come off our books. But, in exchange for that, we would have all that square feet available to us. And just so you know, these are our existing bonds that we have right now. I put down the issue date, the interest, the original amount, the outstanding amount, the amount of the payment, and when it's scheduled to be paid off. So when we talk about financial, the bond restructure, those are the bonds that we're talking about. As you can see, that very first one that issued on 7/20/12, and there I put them in order of paying off. So we've got probably 3, maybe 4 payments left on that bond, and then we're done with that. So that would, if we do nothing, that paying off that bond would almost be a wash with the lost rent from Sol Ross on an annual basis.
How fast are they gonna move as far as what they're doing?
I would, it's probably gonna be in the summer before they decide what they're gonna do, and then they've gotta design it, engineer it. I think fall of '24 would probably be a realistic open date for them.
Have they purchased land?
No, not yet.
I know we had talked at one point about leasing the land that we purchased. Do you think they would be interested in doing that, or do you think they want to buy their own property? And
I think we ought to defer that discussion to executive since it deals with real estate. I have made them aware that we have excess property. On the nursing program restructure, our team has been evaluating. You see in your packet, both our directors for our ADN and LVM programs have asked to be reassigned to faculty. The administration of those programs has worn on them, and they love the programs, but they want to teach and not necessarily do the administrative part. So we took that as an opportunity to possibly consolidate the oversight of both programs and hire a single director to oversee both programs, and just have a coordinator at each site. And I say coordinator, it's primarily faculty duties, kind of a lead faculty member, to kind of assist the director in managing the day-to-day issues that arise at each of the campus. So that's kind of our plan moving forward for both the ADN and the LVN. We have a position notice out there with the appropriate qualifications, and it's opened. So have we posted it yet?
Supposed to post on Saturday.
This afternoon? Yeah, to see, what kind of interest we have in finding an individual to head up both of those programs.
We don't have anybody in mind right now that would qualify, right?
No, not that meets all the criteria. Second page, we had a candidate forum on Tuesday. I believe we had 5, does that sound about right? 6, 7? We had 7 candidates, both from City Council and the UCISD School Board. Come and answer questions. We put it on social media. I hadn't heard any negative comments about that forum. I think it went well. And then just an update for fall 22, this coming fall. We're going to we're going to offer about 80% of our classes in an 8-week format. 20% still remaining in the traditional 16. All the literature colleges that we've talked to have seen dramatic increase in student success, in course completion by adopting the 8-week format. Odessa was one of the first, but now Amarillo, Grayson, Austin, virtually every college is offering some form of 8-week. But what we found in interviewing those successful institutions is you have to get to about the 80% mark to really make an impact for the students, to have those options available. The idea is that they would take 2 classes, first 8 weeks, 2 classes the second 8 weeks, and get their 12 hours. You offer the opportunity for part-time students to become full-time students in adopting that format. And that's what they've seen is really catering to those part-time students and gives them the opportunity to finish a lot quicker, boost enrollment, and again, gets them through the pipeline a lot quicker.
Dr. Gonzalez, when you do that, wouldn't you end up more cohorts, like an 8 weeks here, then 8 weeks what about for the faculty? What does it do for the faculty? Is that more?
So there's challenges doing it. Part of it is the loads. So their loads are going to be, one of them they're going to have to teach 2, the other one they're going to have to teach 3 to get to their 5 per term. And then it's almost like a banking system, so maybe if they teach 2 and they're behind, we can catch them up in the spring with 3. So, those are kind of the things that we're working through. Other institutions, we have an ATD coach, several coaches that are helping address some of those questions and how to manage those obstacles that are going to happen. So the goal is to try to get the student, when they register in August, or actually registration is open now, but when they register, to register for both 8-week terms at the same time.
And have we had any input from the faculty?
Yes, we've talked about this for 3-4 years. We were going to implement it right when COVID hit, and we decided that's not a good time to try to tackle this, so we deferred it until this coming fall. But yes, we've got faculty groups, we've got staff, we've got financial aid, business office, and we've provided a lot of resources so that they can be prepared for that change as it occurs. I think the biggest challenge was getting our financial aid and business processes in line to handle 8-week. I think that was probably the biggest hurdle that we had to overcome. And then upcoming, I talked about the 14th, the luncheon with the chancellors in Eagle Pass. We met with Congressman Gonzalez's staff yesterday. We have the Creative Arts Contest on Tuesday. I'll be in Austin for a president's meeting on Wednesday. We got a PTK induction on Thursday, the diesel upgrade on Friday. Billy Ward, former president, invited me to the Canepa Lutheran Church Senior Luncheon. On the 4th, we got pinning, graduate mass ceremonies. Activities are ticking up, which is a good sign. And that's all I have for the report.
Any updates from Congressman Gonzalez?
We mainly talked about grants and some potential grants that are coming up, really focused on mental health, what opportunities there are for, adding resources for our students in the mental health area. But we expressed the need of assistance for our technical programs. We see that as a future expansion for the college. As we all know, technical programs are expensive. They require a big footprint, a lot of equipment. So we made them aware of that issue, and to have their grant person start looking for opportunities for us to go after some of those grants.
When is he up for re-election?
This year?
Is it in May?
In November.
November.
Every 2 years.
Have we heard anything from the grant, the big grant we applied for? We are still waiting on?
We asked, and they told us that they should have announcements early May.
Okay.
So we should hear soon.
We look forward to that. We act on the financial statement. Ann?
Number 7 in your packet is the financial statements. We had revenue, educational revenue in the amount of $36,769,000. Our student aid revenue was $10,890,000, and our auxiliary enterprises had revenue of $803,000, making our total revenue $48,463,000. We had educational expenditures in the amount of $29,211,000. Student aid expenditures were $14,016,000. Auxiliary enterprises had expenditures of $986,000. Our operating expenditures before debt service was $44,215,000, giving us a total excess revenue of $2,823,000. The breakdown of those numbers come on page 2 through 11. On page 12 is the statement of net assets without GASB adjustments. We had current assets in the amount of $20,298,000, non-current assets of $46,109,000, and total assets of $66,407,000. Our current liabilities were $3,658,000. Our non-current liabilities were $9,316,000. Making the total liability figure $22,974,000, and again showing an increase in net assets of $2,832,000. Pages 13 through 15 are the summary of account balances. As of March 31st, we had cash in the bank of $9,084,000. Certificates of deposit, $14,350,000, making our total account balance $23,434,000. On pages 16 and 18, we have listed all of our CDs, their interest rate, and their terms. We had restricted certificates of deposit in the amount of $8,850,000, unrestricted $5,500,000, making our total certificate of deposit balance $14,350,000. On page 19, you can see the maturities during the month and the renewals.
Ms. Starsky, didn't you say that we're getting like 2.5, or did I hear wrong, percent on the CDs, or?
On the longer-term CDs, we can get 2.5. We've been holding off on making them longer-term simply because we feel like the interest rate is going up as soon
And
as the
how-
Fed.
How long is longer term? Are you talking about how, years or what?
Yeah,
We
you can
don't
go-
have any interest rates 2.5, maybe 0.25,
Okay.
or,
I was looking at the bond rates, I'm sorry.
2.5. I want to invest my money there.
Yeah.
yeah, no. I just came from a bank meeting and they're not paying 2.5.
No. On page 25, we have our total scholarships of $975,000. You'll notice that Mr. Flores' scholarship went up by the amount that you indicated last month. Our other investments are the Will C. Miller corporate stocks at $267,000. Our plant funds are valued at $165,000.
Any questions? Can I hear a motion to accept the report?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the, consider an act on a resolution amending authorized representatives for financial transactions.
Yes, sir, this is item number 8 in the board packet. This is updating our signature cards for First State Bank, Uvalde County Bank, IBC Bank, Del Rio Bank and Trust, and Raymond James Financial Services, to add Dr. Watkins as an authorized signatory on the account.
Do we need a motion?
Yes, sir.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have on the agenda consideration of the Act 2023 room and board rates.
Yes, sir, that's item number 9 in your board packet. You'll see the memo there from administration and some comparables from Coastal Bend, Midland College, and Blaine College. What administration is recommending is about a $200 increase for the rooms. There are a couple that are $300. The private rooms, we want to steer students away from private room. But our room costs have been unchanged for a significant time now. And as you know, everything is increasing astronomically. I think
When
that's-
was the last time, then? More or less?
It was when I was first here, so maybe 10 years ago.
10 years?
Mm-hmm.
So we're way overdue.
It's a modest increase, 200.
How do we come up with a number?
Just, you know, it's not what it should be, you know, to recoup all the costs, but, you know, it gets us closer there. And, you know, a little comparable to Coastal Bend and some of the other colleges around us.
The figure on Coastal Bend and Midland College, is that for a semester or is that a month?
Their semester?
And
And-
these rates are for a month or for a
Semester.
semester?
And, you know, trying to be cognizant of our population at the same time.
So we're way below our comparable.
Yeah. I can tell you UT is, the cheapest is $16,000. That's, yeah.
Yeah, and Blaine's good. I mean, that's A&M area, so that's, yeah. And Midland College, but there's a lot of oil money still around over there too, so. And Coastal Bend is around Corpus, right?
Beeville?
Well, we're a good price.
We are.
Real bargain. Do we need to have a motion to accept these changes?
Second.
Do I hear
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Now we act on catalog changes.
Yes, sir, this is item number 10, the board packet. And you'll see a small group of stapled pages that says catalog changes. That is a summary of the changes. And then we went ahead and print you a catalog so you can actually see where those changes are occurring.
Do we need a motion to accept those changes?
Yes, sir.
Do I hear a motion to accept those changes?
I'll move.
A second?
Second?
All in favor? Next, we have a consider an act on the catalog, which is rather dense.
Oh, this is for the student handbook. We just did the catalog.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
And the student handbook is a lot less changes, mainly phone numbers, and changing where we had advisor to success coach. That's the new terminology that we're using. That's by far, I would say, 99% of the changes. No real substantive change other than the nomenclature.
We need a motion to accept those changes.
Also move to accept the changes.
Do I hear a second?
Second? I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a break to consider personnel manager. The board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.074, to consider employees terminated, resigned, retired, new hires, transfers.
$7:33.
meeting to order at 7:31 p.m. Board members present or roll call vote as president. Dr. Harry O. Watkins, Vice President. Dr. Antonio H. Rivera, Secretary. Maria Elena Lara, Victor Lopez, Tony T. Moreno, and Anita Shackelford. Also present with Dr. Hector Gonzalez, President of the College. Board President Flores welcomed the guests at the meeting, which included college personnel and guests from the regular meeting. The minutes of the December 10, 2020 Foundation meeting were read and approved as presented by Dr. Antonio H. Rivera, Secretary. Motion was made by Victor Lopez and second by Dr. Harry O. Watkins to approve the 2020 and 2021 audited financial statement as presented by Eric Eid of Eid and Company, LLC. Motion carried unanimously and a copy is attached. With no further business, Anita Shackelford made the motion to adjourn. Maria Elena Lara second the motion, and the motion carried at 7:37 p.m.
Thank you. We need to consider a resolution to amend the authorized signatures represented for financial transactions. So moved. So anybody second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I guess with no further business, shall we adjourn this meeting also? Okay. Second? Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Get up and leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to go home.
Been a long day.